We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Design of power screw. The power screws, also known as translation screws, are used to convert rotary motion into translatory motion. That is, for example, in the case of lead screw of lathe, the rotary motion is available with the tool, but the tool has to be advanced in the direction of the cut against the cutting resistance of the material. So, in the case of a screw jack, a small force applied in the horizontal plane is used to raise or lower a large load. Power screws are also used in vices, testing machines, presses, etc. In most of the power screws, the nut has axial motion against the resisting axial force while the screw rotates in its bearings. In some screws, the screw rotates and moves axially against the resisting force while the nut is stationary. And in others, the nut rotates while the screw moves axially with no rotation. Hence, the power screws are used for translatory motion, for providing motion to the any type of machine element. Example, lead screw, which is used for the carriage assembly. So, depending upon the application, there are different types of thread profiles used in power screws. First is square thread. This thread is adapted for the transmission of power in either direction. That is the most important advantage of the square thread. It is difficult to cut with taps and dies. It is generally cut on lathe machine with single point cutting tool. So mostly the square threads are used in screw jack, mechanical press as well as the clamping device. The profile is shown in the diagram. The two important parameters, one is the pitch and second is the height. Height of the thread, which is equal to half of the pitch. And what is pitch? It is the distance between two consecutive threads, starting of the threads or ending of the threads, or you can see the center of the threads. Advantages: it has maximum efficiency, minimum radial or bursting pressure, and also self-locking type. The most important advantage is its self-locking nature. Limitation: the strength is less. These threads cannot be used conveniently with split nut because of wear characteristics. Second type of thread is the Acme thread. The Acme thread are not as efficient as square threads. The Acme threads are easier to cut but are stronger. Example, lead screw. Advantages and disadvantages of the Acme threads. Next type of thread is the trapezoidal thread. The trapezoidal threads are similar to Acme threads except the thread angle is 30 degree in trapezoidal threads. Next is buttress threads. A buttress thread is used when large force acts along the screw axis in one direction only. This thread combines the higher efficiency of square thread and the ease of cutting. It is stronger than other threads because of greater thickness. The buttress thread has limited use for power transmission. Now, the most important thing is the characteristic of the thread, that is the raising or lowering the load. So, let us now understand the torque which is required to raise the load for square threaded screws. For this, the diagram is shown. The important elements are head, lever, square threaded rod, nut and the body. As you can see in the diagram, W is the load which is to be raised. P is the effort applied at the circumference of the screw. Small p is the pitch of the screw. D is the mean diameter of screw. Alpha is the helix angle, mu is the coefficient of friction, which is given by tan phi, where phi is the friction angle, L is the lead of screw. The resolution of the forces which is acting on the load while it is being raised is shown in the diagram. The one particular profile of the thread is shown in the figure A, that is the development of a screw, where it is in the form of a right angle triangle. The acute angle is alpha, P is the adjacent, alpha adjacent is P, that is pitch, and this corresponding side is phi D. In the diagram B, the various forces which is acting on the screw is shown. As you can see from the diagram, W is the load to be raised. When it is resolved into two components, one is W cos alpha and second is W sin alpha. F is the friction force, Rn is the normal reaction, P is the force which is used to raise the load. So it will be P again divided into two parts, P cos alpha and P sin alpha. From the geometry of the figure, tan alpha can be given as P upon pi d, and force of friction is given by F equals to mu Rn. Now resolving the forces along the path, that is horizontal force equals to 0. Summation of all the horizontal force equals to 0, which is given by this particular expression, P cos alpha minus W sin alpha minus F equals to 0. Now F equals to mu Rn, so we will substitute. So now equation 1 will be of P cos alpha equals to W sin alpha plus mu Rn. Similarly, summation of vertical forces 0. So Rn minus P sin alpha minus W cos alpha equals to 0. So from here we can get the expression of the Rn, that is P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. Put the value of Rn in equation 1. So on substitution of equation 1 and 2, we will get the expression of P equals to W sin alpha plus mu cos alpha upon cos alpha minus mu sin alpha. But we also know mu equals to tan phi. Therefore P equals to W in this expression. So when applying trigonometric principle, we will get some expression of P. Again using sin A plus B and cos A plus B concept, the equation of P is reduced in the form P equals to W tan phi plus alpha. So now torque required to overcome friction will be T equals to P into D by 2. Substituting the value of P, again if effort is applied by the lever of length L, then T equals to PL. Therefore T equals to W tan phi plus alpha into L. Now torque required to lower the load. As we can see in the diagram, the resolution of the forces. F, P, Rn, W. Again applying the same concept, horizontal force, summation of horizontal force equals to 0. So equation 1 is P cos alpha equals to mu Rn minus W sin alpha. Similarly, vertical force equals to 0. So Rn equals to W cos alpha minus P sin alpha. Now putting equation 2 in equation 1 and having the simplification, applying some trigonometric principle, we will get P equals to W tan phi minus alpha. Now the torque required to lower the load in overcoming the friction will be T equals to again P into D by 2. So T equals to W tan phi minus alpha into D by 2. So if you want to lower the load, the torque required will be T equals to W tan phi minus alpha into D by 2. And if it is to be raise the load, then T equals to W tan alpha plus phi into D by 2. So these are the two important expressions for the torque to be raised or lowered. Now the next important concept is self-locking of screw. It is the most important characteristic, as when the screw will lift the load, due to the force of the load, the screw should not come down. So when the screw lifts the load, it should have the tendency to keep the load at a certain height without coming down automatically. That is called self-locking. Now we have already seen the expression for the torque to lower the load, that is T equals to W tan phi minus alpha into d by 2. Now if in this above equation, if friction angle is greater than helix angle, that is phi greater than alpha, then the torque required to lower the screw will be positive, that is some effort is required to lower the load. Such a screw is known as self-locking screw. Now again, in the same expression, if the friction angle is less than helix angle, that is phi less than alpha, then the torque required to lower will be negative, so the load will start moving downward without application of any effort. Such a condition is known as overhauling of a screw. So these are the two important conditions of the screw jack. Okay, what is self-locking of the screw and what is the overhauling concept? Very important, two important formulas to be remembered, the conditions to be remembered, which type of screw jack it will be. Actually, the aim of the screw jack design is to have the self-locking condition. Next is design of screw jack. Now whenever we talk about the design, it is required to have the design of the parts, various parts of the screw jack one by one. So the various parts are screw spindle, nut and collar, head, cup, body and handle. This is the diagram of a typical screw jack with all the different parts as well as the dimensions. Carefully if we see, the only parameter which will be known to us will be capital W, that is the load to be lifted. The other parameters are shown in the diagram, which will be deriving one by one. So first is the design of screw. So whenever we want to find out the screw design, it is necessary to calculate the diameter of the screw, called core diameter of the screw. For that, the formula, now when the load is applied on the screw will undergo compression. So compressive stress, the sigma C will be W by A, which is equal to W by pi by 4 dc square. So easily we can find out the dc, that is the core diameter of the screw. Because material of the screw is known, so from that we can find out the sigma C. Now using the standard square threads for screw, once DC is known, we can easily find out the nominal diameter, that is the outside diameter DO. Now in addition to direct compressive load, the screw is subjected to twisting moment. So for that, the core diameter is increased and appropriately find the torque. Now for raising the load, we have already derived the equation T equals W tan phi plus alpha d by 2. Now we will check for the screw design. First is the shear stress. So the torque due to shear stress will be pi by 16 tau dc cube. We will get the value of tau. Direct compressive stress due to axial load, sigma C W by pi by 4 dc square. Using maximum principal stress theory and maximum shear stress theory, and we will find out sigma C max should be less than sigma and tau max should be less than tau given, which will decide the safety of the screw. Next is the design of nut. The height of nut can be found by considering the bearing pressure on the nut. Pb equals to W by pi by 4 dO square minus dc square into n, where n is the number of threads. Height of nut H equals to Np, where P is the pitch of threads. Checking for shear stress in screw and nut. Shear stress in screw tau, shear stress in nut tau n is given by this corresponding equation, and for the safety tau s and tau n should be less than tau given. Next is design of nut collar. So for that the parameters are d1, d2 and t1. Considering the tearing of the nut, so sigma t is given by this formula, from that we can find out d1. Considering the crushing of the nut, we can find out sigma cr, we will get d2. Considering the shearing of nut collar, we will find out the t1. So the different parameters of the nut can be easily find out, that is d1, d2 and t1. Next is the design of screw head. To find the diameter of the spindle head d3 and diameter of cup, directly we can use the empirical relation d3 and d4. d3 is given by 1.75 do and d4 is given by d3 by 4. To find the torque to overcome due to friction, called collar friction. Assuming uniform pressure condition, the torque expression is given by Tc, and uniform wear condition, again expression is given. Now design of handle, very important as it is used for raising or lowering the load. So now the total torque that will be act on the handle is given by T1 plus Tc. Assuming that one person can apply a force of 300 to 400 Newton. So effective length of handle required will be T total divided by 300 to 400. So length of handle will be Le plus gripping length. Now to find the diameter of the handle, that is dh, the effect that will be observed on the handle will be bending. So bending stress sigma b equals to m by z. Using the formula of z, polar moment of inertia, pi by 32 dh cube, we will get the dh. Height of nut is given by 2 times dh. Now buckling load of the screw. According to Johnson's formula, since it is a long column, buckling load is given by this expression. Factor of safety against buckling failure is given by NCR equals to WCR by W, where WCR is the buckling load and W is the load which is to be applied. For safe design of screw under buckling, NCR should be greater than or equal to NF. And finally, the efficiency of the screw jack is given by eta O equals to TO by T, total torque divided by the optimum torque. So finally, dimensions of the screw jack. First is the diameter of body at the top, remaining dimensions D5, thickness of body T3, inside diameter at bottom D6, outside diameter at bottom D7, thickness at the base T2, and height of body HB, which is equals to maximum lift plus height of nut plus 100 mm extra for clearance. So this is the design of the screw jack. Now you can see the design of toggle jack. That is a compound screw, 2 nuts, 8 links, the pins and the head. This is a diagram of the toggle jack. The maximum tensile force in the screw will be given by F equals to W by 2 tan theta, looking from the geometry of the diagram. Theta is taken as 35 degree. Total tensile force will be 2F, which is equals to W, considering the screw under tensile failure. So using the formula sigma T equals to W by pi by 4 DC square, we will get DC. From DC we will get D. Now torque required to overcome the thread friction T1, the formula which we already derived in the previous example, using the principles STI. The same concept is used over here. Next is the design of nut. Considering the bearing pressure, we will get PB equals to W by pi by 4 dO square minus DC square. For stability and avoiding tear, taking n dash equals to n plus 2. Now the stresses in the screw. One is the shear stress in the screw. Second is the shear stress in the nut, that is tau s and tau n. Length of screw portion, that is distance between the center line of the nut plus thickness of nut plus 2 times thickness of ring. Next is the design of pins. Now the pins are designed under double shear, so F upon 2A, A is pi by 4 dP square, where dP is the diameter of the pin. So with the help of this equation we can find out the pin. So that is the end of the screw jack design, which includes towel jack. Thank you very much.